Maxwell,
Samuel.
this is an interview I wasn't here for.
Yeah, no, that's all right. It was recorded very, very recently. In fact, we recorded it immediately before coming to do this exact part right now.
Yeah, I missed the pre-show, but I'm here for the climax.
I sat down with Chelsea, aka Lucky.
Yes.
She has been up here in Brisbane for, she was up here for Big Sound, and pretty early in her career, she's dropped, I think, 4 tracks total.
Okay.
And they've got this kind of grungy meets pop aesthetic. A bit, I think you'd probably be quite into it in that sort of, in the Sam Muggleton shoegazy grungy world.
Oh, I fuck with shoegaze.
And it's really good chat about sort of especially how like real pop, like mid 2000s pop became such an intricate part of the sound. So if you're wondering how grunge and pop can kind of meet in the middle, this is the listen for you.
Well, let me intro you, shall I?
Oh, please do it.
Maxwell, over to you.
We are so stoked to be joined by Lucky. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me. I'm doing awesome.
That's good to hear. It's good to hear. We like to start the show the same way every week, which is to find out what you've been listening to. So what's been spinning, like in your Spotify playlists, Apple playlists, whatever you might be listening to music with?
Yeah, at the moment is a lot of Private Mountain, who's opening for my headline show. And at the moment as well, a band called Now just released some new stuff, and I've been a fan of theirs for a while. So been popping their new stuff as well. So they're the main two. I usually have a couple of things that I'm listening to and then just play that like on repeat for like weeks. So that's like literally the 2 things right now that I'm listening to.
You're not the kind of person who gets super sick of a song, like, after the 56th playthrough.
No, it gets better every time. Yeah, I just get obsessed with a few songs, and then like I literally only listen to like 10 songs at a time. Like I love how Spotify, the on repeat playlist, like that's all like what I listen to every day. So.
That's where you're living your life. That's fair enough.
Yeah.
I'm the most like pedantic with my playlists. I have like all of my mood playlists, but I have like one playlist that's like it's the gateway playlist, and I have to like I limit myself to, I can only have 50 in that playlist. And so if it's often like a 1 in 1 out process. And so if one's good enough to like graduate to a mood playlist, it makes it in. Otherwise, like it's out. She's cut. And I'm like, I probably will never listen to the song again.
I honestly can't imagine even having a 50 playlist song. That's how like small my taste is at sometimes, but that's cool. That's a cool way. 1 in, 1 out.
It's brutal. It's a brutal system, because sometimes you're loving a song and you're like, but I've had it in here for like, a few weeks. It's got to go. It's got to go into like one of the other playlists.
Few weeks. Oh my God, what a quick turnaround. That's crazy.
Look, you're getting the different ways to play your playlist here. We love to chat to an artist kind of early on in their career. And we're so excited to talk to you because it's only been about 12 months, or it's coming up to 12 months since you dropped your debut single, and you've only kind of dropped a few other singles since then. We wanted to let's go from the beginning. Let's rewind it all the way back. Let's go to those earliest musical memories for you. Like as a kid, what were those artists, those albums, those songs that you listened to on repeat? You just absolutely slammed before the playlist was invented. I'm sure there was a Walkman getting a wear out somewhere. What are those first musical memories? Yeah,
for me originally it was CDs. I think the first CD the 2 CDs that come to mind is Avril Lavigne's like The Best Damn Thing album, which is like a pop punk era or whatever. The one that Travis Barker's on all of them. And also that with Pink's I'm Not Dead album and Britney Spears' Circus album, actually. I feel like those were the 3 like CDs that I vividly like remember just like playing probably the most like growing up. So that's, I remember being in my room in the shed and like just flipping through the CD plan like all the time. Like that was my favorite thing.
You grew up in a relatively regional part of Victoria, up near the Albury-Wodonga, near the border area up there. Tell us about the live music scene. I'm imagining like hit 104.9, the border wasn't bringing heaps of artists like on their playlist through to stop in the town. So what was the live music scene like around you growing up?
I remember doing a lot of acoustic shows, like a lot, like just me and my guitar. Um yeah, it was either like pubs or like I think the closest thing to like something cool was really like the freezer like band competitions or something like that, like regional band competitions. That was probably the most I remember from like really a scene. And then it was just kind of some friends in high school who had other bands, like they might have a backyard show or like something really. But yeah, it wasn't it's definitely a lot different to like somewhere like Melbourne, like a city, where there's like people playing all the time and friends playing all the time and really like actual venues and stuff. But yeah, I just remember that was like a very acoustic time. I think a time where I like probably honed in my craft the most because it was like background music where you do like a 3 hour set or something and it's just like singing and playing guitar for 3 hours like all the time. So yeah, that was like mostly what I remember of like the scene really. Just like little competitions or something. Like
I love the way that a battle of the bands brings out like
yeah.
the weirdest bands as well. Like you get some bands that have like been gigging in that town for like 30 years and like this is our year, we're finally gonna win it. And you're like, wow,
Yeah.
this is wild stuff.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. But a few people I'm still friends with now, so it's cool.
You mentioned there that you honed your craft, doing those acoustic nights and those acoustic sessions, which kind of leads us to Lucky, I suppose. Like it feels like Lucky as a project dropped and it was fully formed and it had this sort of direction, this sound that a lot of artists sort of like spend a few EPs and singles trying to figure out. What was the kind of the lead up to like that first single drop and kind of, was this sort of your first major musical project that you thought I'm going to put it all into? How much planning kind of went into that first day?
Well, I have like before Lucky like put out a couple of like solo stuff that were obviously quite different to what it sounds like now. Like as in like 5 years ago would have been the last thing. But definitely none that is as I'd probably take as seriously as I do now. But I think that's just more that comes with like having a team around you. But yeah, like I moved to Melbourne probably I think it was like 2020 or something, and have been back and forth like between Melbourne and home, especially through COVID, like quite a lot. And it honestly took me years to like find people to play like music with and like for my own songs, like find a band to play like music for what would become like Lucky. So that took literally so long and I don't really know why. It just sometimes I guess timing of everything just happens how it happens. But yeah, I think finally found people in like 2024 or maybe very late 2023 and then we're just playing shows and then eventually I guess before Never Know, the first song, it's kind of crazy. Like I haven't really thought back about the process till now. I had recorded like some songs like by myself, like with a friend, and then they never got released as that, but like some of them were like Never Know and stuff. And then I guess I started working with management and then it kind of went from there, I guess. And like got like took a track with like actually with a producer and like Fletcher Matthews who did everything. And I guess like from there I guess having a manager, like everything kind of snowballed and was taken more seriously from there, which is really cool. I guess it's like always what you like I would have wanted is to take it really seriously, like so. But that was a whirlwind. I love just like so many years of not much happening and then stuff happening is like just went through my mind. But and then I look back at like 10 years ago and it's like, oh, actually this is a really long time of like stuff that I've put out under like a different like my actual name and like from when I was like 15 I think I would have put the first Sienna and then at 18 that sounds so different to now, but and then this is finally when it feels like right, I guess, or like momentum, I guess, in a good way.
In that, you mentioned having that team behind you, whether it's the people that kind of join you on stage to play the music as Lucky, or Fletcher Matthews behind you as a producer as well, in that journey to kind of tell the story that has become Lucky, like to over the course of the singles that have come out and things like that. When you've taken those songs you've written with other people in previous projects and then turned them into tracks that like Never Know, how much has that production team come in and said, hey, here's how you can twist that song, you can change that song a bit to sort of tell the story? Where does that line sort of like come in where they're helping you build that tale, I suppose?
Yeah, I guess everything's kind of a bit different. Like Lady Beetle Say was like co-written with Fletch, so that's obviously a completely different process. But like Never Know and Clover, that's out at the moment, was pretty much all kind of demoed out by me, like myself, and especially Never Know was, and then it kind of got brought to Fletch with like pretty much everything, like every part and like leads and stuff, like as is, and then he just kind of like tidied it up and thickened it up and made it, I guess, really polished. And then Clover was pretty similar. I think Isaiah, my guitar player, had like extended from a couple guitar parts I made. And then that was the same thing, like just being like as Fletch, like just really tidying it up and making it really at a good quality, I guess, from like a demo. And then yeah, Lady Beatles and some other songs that I have coming is like a different process again, where it was like co-written together. So it was, making everything like collaboratively, or like I didn't do much there, or Fletch did stuff here. So it was quite different. But yeah, a lot of the songs I love to demo out pretty much everything and then give it to the band and be like, let's play this or extend from this part and stuff. So
it's always so interesting to like, we chat to so many different artists who, maybe there's one, lead songwriter, or maybe it's a really collaborative effort across a band. And it's so interesting to hear about how different creative processes go into like finding, like where one individual brings a project to the group or to whoever the producers, and like where they all chip in. It's so interesting to see where those lines get moved essentially between everyone.
Yeah, I find it quite fascinating, like talking to friends and stuff who are in like a way more like band, like there's 5 people involved when writing the songs and everything. It's like quite fascinating to me because I've never really been that way. Like I've always kind of done it myself in a way. So it's cool. It's been cool to collaborate with like a producer and stuff. And then obviously from there, everything's going to sound better and be better and, have different goals and stuff. So it's cool. It's like, it's just like obviously working with other people who are really good at what they do. It's just going to make whatever you have better. So I like that part of it a lot.
Do you think that if one of the band members came up and said, "Hey, I've been noodling around with this idea. Here's some lyrics I threw with it." Do you think that could ever make go into a full Lucky song? Do you think there's a space for that to come back around?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's like when we jam a song that I brought to the table, it's like, oh, I don't know about this part, or should I try this part? And I'm usually would say yes. Like that's like, I'm usually pretty open-minded. Like if something is like brought to the table that I like think sounds better, then of course I'm going to be like, okay, let's go with that. So, but yeah, no one's suggested a full, not many lyrics yet, but maybe if I'm really drawn to them and they want to give the lyrics away, then yeah, I'll do it from that. But,
that's a diplomatic answer. I like it. That does bring us to the later song, which is Houston, and it sounds it's got that thick and grungy kind of Lucky sound that we've kind of come to know over the last few singles, and it's covering some pretty heavy themes. But then it's got this other layer of very hooky like pop sensibility. That the phaser guitar effect is like etched into my brain already. It's very cool. I suppose let's start from the beginning. Like, how did that track come together? Where in that process was Houston sort of born?
Yeah, this was a co-write with Fletcher. So we like did a week together of just writing heaps of songs, and this was one that came out of it. But yeah, it was definitely, I can't even remember how it started, to be honest. I think that like lead line in the intro that carries through the whole song is, I think, was one of probably the first thing that like that started the song. But yeah, it definitely carries a heavier kind of tonality like to the other stuff, which is really cool. And then I think the pop sensibility stuff just comes through, like me growing up on like pop music and really liking that, I think will always come through a bit, but also like Fletcher's role in like being a producer and stuff sometimes is like, okay, if we want to go that way and like have a strong, I guess, like melody and stuff that it has catchiness and stuff, I think that's something that we try to do if we're like writing a song together. So that like comes through in a song as well. So I'm glad that you picked that up. That's cool.
It's such a catchy song. I mean, we've had a bit of a sneak peek, and I've gone back and just re-listened to it again and again because it's very, very catchy. I suppose when you're when you're sort of, you know, balancing those two aspects, which are, you know, more like heavier sounds and heavier themes, with, you know, trying to find that melodic hook, that catchiness, which I suppose, for you as a songwriter and as a musician, which do you feel more comfortable writing in? Do you feel more comfortable writing the hooky part first and then building out the rest of the song, or do you come in with kind of the bed and then try and find that hook?
I think it's quite different, and definitely a process with Fletch is a bit different as well. But like if I'm by myself, I think I usually just continue and like build off something like a melody, or like that I'm just like humming away. It usually goes from there, or like a line or something. And then I just kind of go where it takes me. And like where it feels good as well. And then with Fletch, it pretty much is the similar thing, like me just going off with melodies, and then Fletch might be like, let's have a little bit more movement here, or like this one little tweak that will kind of turn it from like something that's maybe not as catchy, or like I guess more like mellow, and then bring it to something that like has more life to it. So I think that's probably the biggest difference, or like thing that I kind of noticed through the writing sessions, was kind of being more aware of like the choices you make, I guess, with like a pop sensibility in mind. But yeah, but it was, I think both like come quite naturally. Like it's not like you're like really sacrificing anything with it. It's just kind of having that in the back of your mind, and then maybe making a couple tweaks here and there to like lift it a little bit. But
Does a new song point us towards a longer release coming up anytime soon?
yeah, I don't even know what I'm allowed to say, but I do want to say that I'm so excited to, like, obviously there's more music coming, and quite a lot. So I'm very excited to, like, in my mind, a lot of the songs that I have kind of recorded and done are like quite different to each other. So I'm really excited to have quite, I guess, more of like a body of work for people to dive into a bit more. And like, this song sounds a bit more like this or this. Like, to me, they feel quite different, which I like, because it's like got heaps of different little influences in there as well. So I'm just, yeah, excited for a more body of work. Like, rarely do I get into really fine bands and stuff when they've got like 2 albums out, or like full album out. So it's kind of weird looking at my discography now and being like, oh, there's only 3 songs. That's crazy. But like, when I've written all these, and it feels like I have so much more, I guess, coming. So it's just a waiting game. It's just being patient, and I guess getting excited about more like stuff to come.
Definitely. And, you know, as I mentioned, it's only really been 12 months since we sort of like, you know, got introduced to Lucky, but that's also been 12 months with some very solid live shows as well. I mean, as well as your headline shows, you've had opening slots with Dear Seattle and Hockey Dad and our good pals Towns. What's something you've kind of learned from that pretty hectic schedule of touring the last 12 months that has kind of made its way into the Lucky show?
I think just it's been like the biggest shows, like the tour with like Dear Seattle, like Radfest with that one where Hockey Dad was at. It was just really cool to be a bit more a part, like behind the scenes, and a bit more a part of the process of like what a event kind of what goes behind putting a show on like that big, is really cool to see. And it's also just cool to see, like I noticed on the Dear Seattle, like playing the same songs every night and realizing that like they like songs of theirs, or like moments in the songs that like every crowd every night like reacts the same to, like, or has the same passion to. And it was just really cool to see, like, it just fascinating. I always find it like, why does that particular line like make the crowd go crazy like every night, or like what is it about this chorus that has everyone jumping every single time? Like it's just quite fascinating and just really cool, like inspiring, I guess, to see people in rooms like every night. It's cool.
It sounds like you're as much a like a observer of the art as you are like up there, enjoying it yourself as a musician.
Yeah, it is very, I feel like I get quite inspired quite easily, which I guess is cool. Yeah, or learning new stuff all the time.
And look, before we let you go, we've got obviously the headline shows that are coming up very soon for you, but we're about to close out 2025. What does 2026 look like? What's on the horizon for Lucky?
Yeah, well, yeah, hopefully a bit more close to a body of work, more music, and yeah, I just hope more shows and like more, I guess, visual things to attach to the Lucky world, bit more world building there, and I guess like trying to establish like more like as an artist, like what that looks like and feels like and sounds like with the other songs and stuff coming. And then just like more, hopefully more shows, more cool support offers, hopefully, in places maybe we haven't been before. Yeah, just to, I guess, keep doing cool stuff, hopefully, because it's been like fun like the past year, or past 6 months. So it's been, I just hope it, yeah, keep having fun.
It's a pretty good goal. Cool stuff.
Yeah.
That's
Fingers crossed.
Well, Houston is Lucky's latest single. It is dropping November 21st, so listen to it wherever you get your music. Catch Lucky live in Melbourne on the 22nd of November at the Old Bar, and in Sydney on December 6th at the Vic on the Park. Thanks so much for taking the time and having a chat to us today.
Awesome. Thanks so much for having me.